And the time right now is 14 minutes after 7. Oh my God, it's that day today, eh? Yeah, it's all about after hours on Spice. And I'm your local energy provider, Tada the Beast. Karibu sana manze. This is your home of sugar, spice, and everything nice. More good music coming through for you in just a bit. I've got some groove theory with Baby Love is the remix. Also Dr. Dre's on deck with Let Me Ride. How was your day? You know what I want from you. Nataka tu kujua story of traffic. So you're going to let me know on that hashtag after hours on Spice. The phone lines are always open in this show, yeah? It's 0719012600. News just in is that the poolings of the Hong Kong Sevens is it's already happened actually. I remember the tournament will be going down on the 17th to the 19th of April, and Kenya we've been pooled on Group C. Yeah. Pool C, that is. So let me just give you a rundown of all the the teams in each specific group. So Pool A we have South Africa, Argentina, Spain, Uruguay, and then Pool B we have Fiji, France, Great Britain and Germany, and then Pool C. Hey, you guys, Pool C is hard. Yeah, so we have Australia, New Zealand, USA, and Kenya. So we're meeting up with the US for, I believe, the third time this season. And listen, guys, actually the fourth time. Yeah, so. I am looking forward to this tournament. I feel like the boys have been yearning to get to this tournament. My guys, tumefika. So let's just make the country proud. Of course, the standards are high. Remember, guys, by the whole setup of the HSBC Sevens has changed. So now we have Division 2 and, of course, the championship. And now we've made it back. We've been promoted. Of course, where we belong. We're back to where we belong, yeah, Division 1. So I'm excited. We'll see what's going to happen. So, and that's how we kick off the show at 16 minutes after 7. Like I said, I have some groove theory. Alafu tukirudi, we're cruising the internet. Tuende kazi. And it brings us to 25 minutes after 7. This is your home of sugar, spice, and everything nice. My name is Kev. What's your name? Where are you listening to me from, by the way? Talk to me on that hashtag. After hours on Spice, rep your area. Yeah, and remember the phone lines are always open on 0719012600. I've got some poison by Belle Biv DeVoe in just a bit. Lakini right now, man, finally Gava have paid that 3.9 billion to CAF as the hosting fee for AFCON, yeah? So the whole idea is to confirm our sport as a co-host, remember? Yeah, so this is according to the sports CS, Salim Mvuria, and he made it very clear. He said that the country has met its obligation and there's no turning back right now. Yeah, so remember it's a Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda situation. Together as East Africa, we are officially hosting the AFCON 27 for the first time. You get, and I remember a couple of weeks ago, by the way, must have been, I think it was in February, yeah, when apparently, CAF guys said that none of our stadia had met the required AFCON standards. You get, so you're talking Kasarani, Nyayo, Talanta, yeah. So, I mean, listen, guys, so that we've paid this fee, we need to make sure that everything is on point, right? We need to match the standards that Morocco set. Apparently, many folks around the world, myself included, were very, very proud of Morocco. It was a aside from the injustice and crime, yeah, anyway, they hosted a very good tournament. So the real test over here, guys, our stadiums have to be on point, yeah? Infrastructure lazima iive, you know what I mean? Organization, security, crowd control, all those things, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we have to deliver, guys. We have to prove that we can do this because the whole world is going to be watching us. And you know very well that if we kill it, yeah, if we just do our thing, because I know, guys, we can, yeah, then obviously we will be elevating East African football globally. So it's 27 minutes after 7. Let's keep it moving. Alafu, when we come back, friend recounts Rex Masai's final moments as inquest resumes. We'll touch on that one. Very, very emotional stuff. Tony Kazi, good evening, guys. Right now it's 7:37. My name is Kev, and this is After Hours on Spice. I Love the Dough by Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, coming through in just a bit. Also Johnny Kemp with Just Got Paid. So right now, let's talk all things extrajudicial killings in the country. Let's talk about abductions. Let's talk about just, how sometimes it feels like Gava just doesn't have regard for human life. Yeah? Now, this headline is about how a friend recounts Rex Masai's final moments as inquest resumes. Now, today's inquest into the death of Rex Masai got really heavy. If you don't know Rex, he got killed. He was murdered during the 2024 Gen Z maandamano. Now, his friend, anaitwa George Ndikas. So he took to the stand and walked the court through Rex's final moments, and it started like any other normal day, according to George. Yeah, anasema walitoka high rise, and then they went to Tao, and then they joined. So this is the day for the maandamano. Of course, they joined other young people during the protest, the finance bill protests. They were not really at the front. Yeah. Then they were at the back because, they were a bit cautious. Yeah, they were, just making sure that they're safe, right? So, according to George alikuwa anasema, they were not even causing trouble. All they were doing was watching, and in fact, Rex was recording the whole situation, while staying out of chaos, like I said. And then things just changed very fast. Kidogo, you guys tear gas, nini wase wanahepa. It was so chaotic, right? And then cops started firing gunshots, yeah? So it was at that point when Rex turned to George, akauliza George, yeah? Tukipoteleana, tutapatana aje? You get? And then, of course, they couldn't find each other. Walipoteleana. It was at that moment when, while George was just running all over the place, he spotted Rex actually limping. You know what I mean, yeah? Yeah, so he went and, of course, grabbed Rex, and Rex told him that he thinks he's been shot. Kuangalia hivi vizuri, turns out that he was actually shot on the leg, but they tried to move, and they say while they were moving, Rex kept on getting weaker and weaker. In fact, at some point, they even asked the cops for some help, and they went to, must have been a hospital, yeah, but walifika hivi kwa gate, they were denied access. You know what I mean? There's even a bunch of strangers who actually stepped in. And then, by the time they forced their way in to the hospital and a doctor saw Rex, it was already too late. The guy pronounced Rex as dead. And then George also told the court that he saw multiple officers on the streets, some in uniform, others in plain clothes, and all of them were armed. You get? So, it's interesting because just the other day I was reading a report, and they're talking about how enforced disappearances in the country, especially last year, zilienda down sana. But excessive use of force, outright killings are on the rise. You understand, yeah? So it's interesting because you would imagine that the situation is improving, but okay, as much as abductions remain down, Kenyans are still dying in the hands of cops. You understand, yeah? People getting shot in the open. So the system has not really improved. Wanatuambianga tu ma stories, but we're not really seeing a lot of reform happening. Yeah? And so because of that, you wonder, who are we going to hold into account, actually? Yeah? All they do is just write reports, statements, but no one is actually held into account, and that's really, really worrying. And it's interesting because Juicy also watched how the government was talking about how, they're going to protect anti-protesters, compensation of victims of these protests, but Kenyans just don't believe the government. It's so hypocritical because I kid you not, somehow at the end of the day, we're going to be reporting how Kenyans were shot dead. You know what I mean? It's very sad. So when we come back, there's still more stories on Cruise the Internet. Sad stuff, Maze. Traders protest after Gikomba Market demolition in repair and clearance drive. Let's keep it moving. I love the dough, the notorious PIG and Jay-Z. About 8 minutes to Sambili. I've got some brownstone with 5 miles to empty. Like right now, guy, Gikomba is almost empty, I tell you. You get, so, hey, you get, across the day today, there's been a lot of tension apparently at Gikomba. Kwa sababu jana night, county officials walikuwa huko hivyo, and they demolished part of the shoe section while under heavy security. So I'm sure most dudes, kwanza, yeah, actually most folks, if you're listening to me, maybe you've had an experience at Gikomba. So me, I used to go to that area when I used to play rugby to get the boots, and they have good stuff, man. They've got good boots as well. So, today morning, wase wanamka and they spot destroyed stalls, scattered goods, yani the whole area is completely shut down, yeah? So one thing I also found out is that the county government, by then they said that Gikomba market, wherever it is situated, it's illegal. The structures were on riparian land, any river reserve, and had already been issued eviction notices. Yeah, so This is part of a white. This crackdown, sorry, was supposed to actually happen on the in 2024 during the floods. You remember the very crazy floods? Yeah. Yeah, but here we are now. And guys, I think this conversation, I know it's very sensitive, but we saw the effects of the floods, especially on the rivers. Yeah, they break the banks and it's chaos. People are caught up. Imagine ingia kwa mabiashara, you get people's houses, yeah. So some guys are saying wangepewa more time, especially the traders. Wanasema okay, fine, tunakubaliana na hiyo maneno eviction, but there's a way to go about it. Yeah, first of all, we needed more time to jipanga, and then second of all, please have some dignity. It's fine. We are going to leave this place, but treat us like Kenyans as well. The way you're just bomoing our things. Some guys even lala over there. Can you imagine how chaotic it must have been? Yeah, so it's very sad. And at the same time, I've seen apparently trending pictures of the new modern Gikomba, the proposed build area. Once it's done being built over there, how it's going to look like. Me, I think, listen, when you over-modernize Gikomba, then it loses the plot. In fact, it ceases being Gikomba. Yeah? I mean, let me tell you whatever made Gikomba dope, yeah? That hustle culture, that informal flow of goods and things and products and all those things, yeah? So if we lose that, I don't think the traders over there are going to be getting that much customers. Yeah, but so that's pretty much some of the top trending stories this hour on Cruise the Internet. Right about now, 5 miles to empty. That's by Brownstone Alafu in the next hour. There's a lot going down. On Blast. And of course, we're still going to cruise the internet some more. Twinikazi. 8 minutes after 8. How are you guys doing? My name is Kevin, and this is your home of sugar, spice, and everything nice. And the show is called After Hours on Spice. Lauren Hill is on the way with Seller. Now, if you know what, if you've been invited, if somebody flew you out, then I'm talking for gentlemen, yeah? Ladies, if a guy flew you out to have a good time with him, then let's assume that you know what time it is and you know what's going to go down, isn't it? Yeah? Because I know this is a conversation that you don't want to have, but let's not be too confused. If a guy flies you out, yeah, this guy tells you, I like you, we've been vibing, nini. I want to fly you out. Let's have a good time. You know very well that this guy is not taking you out. He's not going to pay for the hotels and a flight to. He's not going to book a flight to some, awesome place. Yeah, he's going to take you to Dubai or Monaco or whatever, just to kick it and have a good time with you. You get? Because I know many of us usually imagine, if this guy pays for me, then I'm just going to have a good time with him. Nothing's going to happen. We're still getting to know each other. Please, girl. You need to actually get with it. You need to understand what's going down. Like I said, you know what I mean? The fact that you accepted that trip, yeah, you do understand that it's going to be transactional. When you guys go there, he's expecting so much from you. And one thing you also need to understand is that you don't owe him anything. Imagine, see a must. But the fact that you accepted that trip, the fact that this guy went out of his way to book a flight and pay for some, good hotel, a good space for you guys to hang. Baby girl, you know what time it is. You know what's going down. You see, the issue here is when we get there, now you start tripping. Now you start acting like you start wilding nini. Yet you know very well that no one in his right senses is going to book a flight for you on the get-go. Like you've just met, you guys are vibing nini. It's been 3 weeks? Cool. No one's going to waste their money to just kick it. But you don't owe him. But just understand what's expected of you. when you go abroad with him, when you go wherever, even if it's it's on the coast, I don't care. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, you either deny the trip, either you say, nah, I'm not feeling this, I'm kind of busy. Yeah, because at the back of your mind, you know what time it is, you know what's gonna go down. But to me, the fact that you accepted that trip, now you're saying you're going with this guy in Nini, don't be so surprised when he asks for certain things from you. You get 12 minutes after 8. Let's keep it moving. It's 20 minutes after 8. My name is Kevin, and this is After Hours on Spice. I've got some Jill Scott with Hate on Me. Unfortunately, I believe in permanent fallouts, and may we never cross our paths again. It's almost like a prayer for me. Yeah, damn right I said it. Unfortunately, I believe in permanent fallouts. May we never, ever cross paths again. We should never meet up. I don't want to see you online. I don't want to see you on a battle with me. We're out there fighting for this country. I don't even want to see you by my side. Yeah, I don't want to be told about you, how you're doing, how life is dealing with you. I don't care about those stories. Yeah. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that some of these fallouts are deep. Yeah, we have to go deep, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to meet up. Let's discuss issues. Let's resolve whatever we've been going through. No. We tried that and it didn't work. You get? I don't want somebody to try and link us up. We have a conversation because we are family. Nah. Just like Nas said, some beef is everlasting. It has to be everlasting, I swear. It has to be. Yeah. Wherever you're from, whether it's back in the day, some guy kosana with you in high school, I'm a uni, a workspace, yeah, your family, some fallouts are forever. And in fact, by the way, may our children never meet. May they never meet. May our families never interact. Our family's lineage should never interact. Let's not even give it a thought. I don't want you to, I don't want to know your children, and I don't even want you to know my children. Jesus Christ. You know what? Don't even come to my funeral. And I'm not even going to go to yours. Trust me. Unfortunately, I'm those ones. You can call me petty, but it is what it is. I believe in permanent fallouts. Kuna level likifika, imagine that we're not revisiting. Our path should never cross. Our paths, I don't want to... What? It's deep. It's deep. Because some people are out here to play games, man. They never learn. Some people never learn. May our paths never cross again. I swear, it has to be that deep. So, let's keep it moving. Hate on Me by Jill Scott. From Germany, by the way. These guys have some vibes, eh? So, right now it's 8:36. I've got some No Worries in Anderson Park featuring her with Knowledge Where I Go. So, you know what? Let's talk about Chili. Yeah, Chili from TLC. Yeah? Her real name is Rosanda Thomas. And she's clearing the air after being linked to Donald Trump's 2024 campaign. And she says... that, you know what, I'm not MAGA. In fact, she was very straight up with it. So MAGA is like the whole, Donald Trump fan base, the Make America Great Again fan base, yeah? So folks actually accuse these guys of being racist, and of course, the way they're handling this whole immigration manenos. So the whole story behind this thing is how... apparently, donation records showed her real name, Rosanda Thomas, donated about $900 to pro-Trump groups. And she says it was a mistake. Yeah, she thought she was supporting causes like human trafficking, prevention, and veterans. And she also claims she didn't read the fine print, and some donations were actually auto-recurring. Yeah, and then she had to address a very peculiar situation. Yeah, another separate issue. So, turns out that she allegedly reposted some article that talks about, this whole conspiracy of Michelle Obama being a man. Yeah, so this tweet was actually spotted on her ex, and she just had to clear the end. She said that, you know what, it was accidental. You know, she's not really tech savvy. You know, she also talked about how she's full of respect for Michelle Obama, and she also funded and campaigned for Barack Obama. She's always been a believer in the Obama leadership style. She also talked about how if you just check her past posts, you know, she's not really about all these conspiracy theories, She's about community, love, and family. You know what I mean? And I actually had a look at her ex account. It's exactly what she says. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know, Bana. Personally, like, I've also been in a situation where I mistakenly reposted something on X. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, when I'm like I'm busy retweeting a lot of things. Sometimes I retweet things that I didn't want. Yeah, and it happens, and it can get you in trouble, you know. So her team has now doubled down, and they're saying her values have always been about uplifting people, not division. Yeah, so remember, currently TLC preparing, they're getting up for a major tour, and you know, it's funny how this story has just come out literally when you know, these guys are actually preparing for a tour, you know. And you know, I also feel like, especially African Americans, the hypocrisy is very, very loud. You know, like the fact that they actually had to drag Chili's name, you know, because in 2024 she donated about $900. You know what I mean? Like, it just shows how these fans can be so fake sometimes. Yeah, after everything that Chili has done for the industry, not just in America but worldwide, the influence she had and still has, yeah, when it comes to arts and culture and this whole R&B movement, and yeah, we've been very unfair. And then you're thinking that people, but they only $900, and the people like Elon Musk who've donated what, $250 million, but you're still driving around that Tesla. You can't even rope in Elon Musk's name. You say, oh, he's such a hero. Nini. Yeah? Yeah. Black folks like we put our people down, yani. This chick has literally been apologizing. She said, guys, I'm sorry. You know, it was a mistake. You know, it shouldn't have happened. Yeah. I like the fact that she owned it, she explained herself, and she clarified her stance with this whole MAGA situation. You know, and I mean, what world do we live in if apologies don't count? You know, like, let's start having respect for our artists. You know what I mean? Kwanza hapa Kenya, manze. I don't like it when we see guys trashing artists. Yeah, and the guy has literally been adding so much value to this space, you know, to the industry. But just because of one mistake, now you're thinking this guy's the devil. Come on, man. Come on. When we come back, we'll talk about 5 decisions people in their 30s quietly make that you would imagine it's just failure. You're thinking, what? You've broken up with your husband. Oh my God. And you're about to clock 40. You shouldn't have. How dare you? But you need to actually flip the coin. You know, we can look at this thing from a different angle. And I'll tell you why many 30-somethings are actually making these decisions at this particular stage of their lives. So, twende kazi. It's 12 minutes to Satatu. My name is Kevin, and this is After Hours on Spice. I've got some Ari Lennox with Stop By. It's also a new one. Hiya. So, right now, you know what? Let's talk about some of these decisions that most folks who are in their 30s have had to make. Because you see, many times, when you're in your 20s, right, of course, there's a lot of pressure from, when I say pressure, I mean influence. Yeah, you're listening to your parents. They're trying to give you their own blueprint for life. Your friends are there. You know, you're really admiring your friends, yeah, especially the ones who are now, you know, their life is kind of making sense. You're like, I want to be like that. You know what I mean? And even now, also you know how social media can be, yeah? Yeah, everyone's all over the place, and you're thinking, okay, fine. This is the type of person that I want to be like. And then now you do your 20s, you get into your 30s, mid-30s were there. You know, you're noticing, hey, Panama, I feel so dead. I feel like I'm a dead frog. Anyway, so you don't like the direction your life is headed towards. Yeah? You're putting your life into perspective and you're thinking, maybe I'm even shrinking. If I don't make some moves right now, I might regret. You know, so they say the 30s aren't always the accelerate everything decade we've always been sold. Yeah? Because I personally was told by the 30 Sasa Kev, That's when you're supposed to make your first million. Yeah, thankfully I did. But at the same time, that's when you've pretty much settled on a career. Like you have direction. Yeah. You've already identified a woman that you probably want to start a family with. You know, you're thinking, okay, fine. This is the career that I see myself doing for the next probably 20 years. You already, gotten the skills, and it's just about building, making the money. Yeah. Manifesting things, right? That's what we were told our 30s should be about, But apparently, psychologists say a lot of what looks like retreat is actually realignment with your authentic self and not failure. So that retreat, that surrender, you're like, nah, man, nah. This is not my blueprint. This is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm quitting my job. Yeah. Imagine. Now, that's a very common decision that most folks, in their 30s have had to make. Ushafikele place, you get your thinking. Imagine it says in the levy. Yeah, you get reading all this information. Nowadays you have access to information, right? And you're reading all these things online, and they're talking about how it's the era of creating things. It's the era of, there's a lot of opportunity out there. You can actually make money doing what you love. Isn't it? Yeah. So what you do is you quit your job. And now your folks are there hating. They're like, how dare you? We've spent so much money. Yeah. You have a family. Please take your time. Think a bit more about this decision. We don't think you becoming an artist is a good thing. Yeah, we don't think you getting into biashara is good. Focus on that career. But you know very well that career is so draining. You can't stand working with the people that you've been working with for the past 10 years. You don't see yourself growing farther. There's no opportunity for growth. So guess what you've done? You've quit your job. It's so scary. But like psychologists have been saying, it doesn't have to be crazy. Yeah, you're just realigning. You still have enough time to get your act together, to get your life moving forward, according to how you want. Now, another thing is this. Not a crazy decision that folks in their 30s make, and then you go crazy. You're like, oh my God. Yeah. We're talking doing away with your friends. So basically, your friendship starts thinning. The number of people that you consider to be your friend starts going down a good one, man. You get. So your 20s basically meant more friends. You're out there shaking hands, getting into so much activity. Yeah, hobbies, travel, all those other things. But your 30s, you're thinking you want more depth. Yeah, and not just breadth or width. And they say, according to science, that humans can actually maintain 150 meaningful contacts, but only 5 close ones. Yeah. And so when you say no to a lot of friends, I know at first it might feel like, you're being kidogo mean, but it's not sustainable. Yeah. Really, it's going to be very hard for you to do life long term with all these 50 friends of yours. I mean, it's possible. But for you to actually have meaningful conversations and add value to each other's lives, you're probably going to have few friends. Reliable friends. Yeah. So they say reducing the social performance often makes you more genuinely interesting to the people who matter. Yeah. So the people now that you call your friends and your associates will actually enjoy you more, and they'll find you to be more resourceful. Mtajengana sana. So now another thing is pulling back online. So I don't know whether you've noticed that at a certain age, you get, first of all, like content tends to be it's too much, man. Yeah, you're looking at the content out there, you're thinking, I don't think I was made for this. Every other time there's some sort of breaking news, trending stories online, and you can't keep up with all these other things. Yeah, there's something new going down that you have to learn. Yeah, and it's on your face. Something apparently that you didn't even know that you needed. It's been marketed out there. Now you're thinking, I should probably buy this for myself or for the family. And so what happens is now in your 30s, guess what? Your ecosystem, your people, they're not seeing you a lot online. They're wondering, Kwani, where the hell is Kev? When on the real, you don't even care about posting anymore, man. Yeah, you don't care about what's trending. Yeah, damn it, when was the last time you were even online? Yeah, aside from YouTube and aside from maybe just, replying to a few messages here and there, some DMs, maybe they're important. You don't care about what's trendy, man. You don't care about looking all dope. You don't care about, fam, this whole social media thing, it just ends up being so twisted, yeah, and you're not giving it attention. Yeah. Now, the final one that I think I've also noticed many Kenyans do, especially folks who are in their 30s. Millennials, I feel like we started this thing way back, but Gen Zs are taking it to the next level. We are slowly accepting a smaller life. You understand? Yeah. Apartments, careers, relationships, of course they're solid. These are good things to have, right? But, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be cinematic. Yeah. So they say research shows downshifting unattainable goals to achievable ones improves well-being. Letting go of attachment to an imagined life is active, not passive, and stops self-harm disguised as persistence. You get, yeah? So you got to do what makes sense, man. Double down on the important things to you. Yeah, things that align with your values. You don't have to buy that car. I know you've got the money, but big deal, man. I'd rather use this, to improve on my experiences. You want to get out there more, maybe travel the world, Yeah, you want to be more holistic, stuff like that, right? And I think it makes a lot of sense, man. Like these days, I've seen people who are just so tired of the big city. Like literally, a friend of mine, yeah, shout out to Elo, Bana. This guy, he left Nai and he had a very good life as an interior designer. Now the guy is in Siaya. He's got his own dope spot over there, just doing life, Bana. As long as he's working remotely, he's getting all the money. He enjoys his ambience. And he's a young guy. Don't get it twisted. I think he's still a Gen Z. Yeah, but he has everything. The only thing he doesn't have is the drama that comes with the big city. I mean, personally, I love the big city, but he just doesn't, he can't handle the noise. Yeah. So, something you built in your 20s, we're talking about career, social circle, digital identity, ambitions, all these other things. Yeah. When you allow them to erode, when you dismantle all these things, when you say you're going to develop a new blueprint for your life, of course, to most of your people, especially your family, they look at you as a failure. They're thinking, hey, Bana, what? Nah, 30s, man, it's too old. You're supposed to be settled right now. But what they don't know, like I said earlier, is that you're just aligning your life, who you really are, with what you need to do to live a fulfilled life, to add more value to this country, to be more resourceful to your community and your environment. And psychologists call this self-concordance. You understand? Your goals matching your authentic values, which predicts sustained effort, better goal attainment, and satisfaction. If that's not what you're going to do with your life, those three things, yeah? If you're not going to put your A game out there, yeah? If you're not going to have sustained effort for a longer duration, like let's say even 25 years, doing what you love, because it gives you satisfaction, and that's the way you're being more resourceful to Kenya, then I don't know I don't know why you have to do other things, man. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Yeah? Our experience is such a blip, yeah? In the grand scheme of things, this thing is so short. Yeah? So, I know right now you're feeling bad. You're thinking, oh, man, I probably wasted my 20s. I don't think you wasted your 20s. Of course, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from everything that you did. Thank God I played sports, man. What? That was the best decision I made in my 20s. Because, I feel like even if you're in your 20s, you're taking risks and you're all over the place doing stuff, I pray, I hope, I know you're probably 20-something listening to me right now. I hope you're doing something that's also going to build your character, something that's going to help you become more resilient, something that's going to help you learn how to work with people. You understand group dynamics, yeah? So whatever you built was not wasted. Yeah, now all those skills that you learned, because I usually say hard work doesn't go to waste. All those things that you've learned, now you're going to use that energy, that experience that you've had, the skills, to build even better for yourself. And trust me, it's going to be so good. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna literally leave a legacy behind. You're gonna create systems for your family, to continue growing and manifesting. You get? I feel like that's the essence of life. Yeah, because I know. Listen, when even by then the building stage can be kidogo quiet, it can feel small and like less impressive. No one really knows. No one can really visualize your vision. Your parents can't see what you're trying. In fact, your partner doesn't see what you're trying to achieve. She's even thinking, he's thinking you're a failure now. Babe, you just need to go back to work, babe. We've got kids to feed, babe. I feel like, you're not really being my partner now. You're being so selfish. You're just looking out for yourself in your own. Right now, people are going to hate. But eventually, you'll be living your own truth. So let those guys keep on talking the ish, nini, but trust me, man, I think it's very important for you to do what you love, make it sustainable, long term. Yeah, I think you shouldn't waste your 30s living somebody else's dream. Yeah, but you can also have a balance to it. I know you got to make the money, nini. Yeah, but make sure it's according to your own rules. You get? So it's 9:01. This hour, more bangers. I'm going to hook you up with some R&B, some blues. You get some soul music. The Grey Zone is coming through in just a bit. Also the Big Y. So it's jam-packed. Twendekazi. It's 9:17. How are you doing, Nairobi, Kenya, Africa, and the world? This is Kevin, your local energy provider. Who Found Who by John Jellybean Benitez. And Lisa, that's in a bit. Like you need right now, it's all about the Grey Zone. And there's a new trend, guys. Apparently, it is said that women now want to be yearned for again. Yes, women want to be yearned for again. So they say, after years of independence, accessibility and instant validation through dating apps, many women are shifting back toward wanting to feel chosen, pursued, and valued, not just available. Being earned isn't about playing games. It's about effort, intention, consistency. Remember we talked about this yesterday? And emotional investment. Things that signal real interest in a world full of options. So this shift reflects a deeper desire for meaning over convenience, where attention is no longer enough and presence matters more than promises. Listen, believe you me, I know the money makes sense. I know that guy, he's showered you with a few things here and there. It feels good, soft life, yeah, it's amazing. But look for character, look for consistency, look for effort. That's what's going to guarantee you longevity in this relationship. So let's keep it moving. 9:19. Who Found Who? It's about 13 minutes to 10. I've really enjoyed my time hanging out, guys. We will catch up again tomorrow right here on SpiceFM from 7 till 10 p.m. I want you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Also, special shout-outs to Robert and the one and only Nadima. I also have my brother Nahash and Blessed. Asante sana, you guy. Always a pleasure, manze. So enjoy the rest of your evening right now. More bangers. Tony Thompson with I Wanna Love Like That. Guys, stay safe. Peace. Tupatane kesho.